are a big thing in the United States. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? In Algeria, for example, President Abdelaziz is, after 23 years of state of emergency, is finally lifting it. Basically,
hallelujah.
Yeah, because because human rights organizations, students, and unemployed people were planning a protest in the next week or so. So he's already got scared and lost his crown jewels, essentially, and said, "All right, we'll give you a bit more freedom." I mean, in Syria, King Assad, is he the king?
No,
President
President
Assad. He's basically putting in more legislation that will, disband any protests that occur around the capital.
See, I don't think that's fair now, is it?
The people need to speak. They have a voice.
They need a platform,
Yeah.
you know? And it's people that start the revolution. And I know how in Egypt they disconnected the SMS services and the internet services, but ultimately that doesn't matter.
Not really.
Because
Just made it worse.
Yeah, they disconnected Twitter for a while, but what
bad idea.
certain revolutionary people on the internet, who are basically what they did, they set up a connection via where people could leave voicemails on a certain number, and that voicemail would get turned into Twitter feeds.
Oh,
right.
nice.
So there's
That's
always
pretty
ways around.
I love grassroots movements.
Yes.
I really do.
It was actually set up by part of Anonymous, who
Okay.
were attacking MasterCard and Visa and stuff when WikiLeaks was released.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So it's all connected.
It's
after
all
all.
connected.
Conspiracy here.
Dun, dun, ticka-tsh.
Well, you never know. It might actually, and even in Jordan, stuff's been happening. Even though King Abdullah is actually a very popular figurehead, he's been under pressure to add some reform to the country and bring in democracy. He's recently fired his prime minister and replaced him with a formerly popular one, and also added food subsidies of 554 million.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
I'm all for subsidies, especially government subsidies that support, food production.
But at least he's listening to the people before anything major happens.
I think with the current state of affairs, you don't really have a choice, and I like that.
See, the whole point of democracy was to make us have a voice, and they can't shut us up. They can't, no matter what they do, they can't close down whatever they want to and make us. People will always find a way around it. They will always make their voice clear to the world.
If political movements were the pot and democracy was the stew, it needed time to mature. It needed time, and I think this is the time.
That's a pretty good metaphor.
Thank you.
That's a pretty good metaphor. Talking about Mubarak, did you know that a major think tank in the USA estimated his wealth to be at $70 billion.
Bill Gates, look out, man.
At least Bill Gates made his money.
Exactly. The Mubarak family stole the money.
Now we know where
years.
all those IMF funds ended up. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
In the flats in Westminster and places such as that.
I've always wanted to live in London, especially the Mayfair.
Apparently,
In the
apparently
posh
they
area.
have 3 houses behind Harrods, man.
Really?
That's
Yeah, and
insane.
Apparently each one's worth at least £1 million. So
My God.
yeah, you can't really argue.
They've got massive tracts of land and hotels and resorts in Sharm el Sheikh.
Guys, it's gonna be so hard to track down their wealth and their funds.
But they better do it.
Yeah.
They better do. Of course, offshore accounts, not an easy thing to track.
Not really. I mean, they're trying to currently track down President Ben Ali, or former President Ben Ali, his fortunes around the world, and the European Union has already frozen his assets.
Yeah, and I heard from a Tunisian that gold bricks that he has in banks here in England are being transferred to Tunisia.
That's good. I mean, Canada.
Canada!
Mr. Samaritan strikes again.
I'm from Canada, but like...
I was going to say the Canadian government.
Yes, the Canadian government.
is throwing out Ben Ali's brother-in-law, who is a billionaire living in Canada.
Well, he's a billionaire, so that doesn't really mean anything. He's just going to buy a house somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, they're kicking him out back to Tunisia, so they're extraditing
Oh,
him.
no way.
Bird.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
Extradite that. Dude.
Anyway, let's have some music, and in solidarity with all the protests and everything else that's going on around the region, in the Middle East in particular, we'll have Loki and Million Man March.
but you can't take my soul. You can't take my soul. You might take my freedom, but you can't take my soul. You can't take my soul.
Whether it's emancipation or assassination, or I fall for emancipation, my intentions were pure, you can debate them, but no, never ever shook hands with Satan. My fans are amazing, I thank and praise them. When I die, don't cry, just congratulations. A million more feet will stamp the pavement with plans for changes, no exaggeration, we will not be ignored. You'll be rocked with the force of the bombs that you dropped in these wars, I will not be fought. And I consciously thought it was wrong, so I constantly thought peace is something I would really adore, but we are at war, so give me a sword. A million caught, but still be assured when you kill me there will be a million more.
Born alone and die alone, those words ring inside my dome. Best friends are the pen and the microphone, roaming until I find my way home. Turn my body cold, but my soul is mine. Take a deep breath when I close my eyes. I will go when I'm supposed to die, but in death I will multiply.
My back's against the wall, but you can't kill us all. Even if you take my life, still we will survive. We shall overcome, and the tables will turn. Today I die as one, but as millions I return. But as millions I return. But as millions I
Really surprised if I get victimized by Gideon spies. I sympathize with that Brazilian guy on the tube, but we're used to the hideous lies. Your civilians die, millions cry, our civilians die. The militants right, how silly am I to be figuring why the injustice is clear and I feel it inside. Hear me in Gaza, hear me in Glasgow, hear me in Baghdad, hear me in Glasgow. Clearly they hear me from here to Chicago. Think things are all good, but they aren't. No peace is something I would really adore, but we are at war, so give me a sword. A million corpse, but still be assured when you kill me there will be a million more.
Born alone and die alone, those words ring inside my dome. Best friends are the pen and the microphone, roaming until I find my way home. Turn my body cold, but my soul is mine. Take a deep breath when I close my eyes. I will go when I'm supposed to die, but in death I will multiply.
My back's against the wall, but you can't kill us all. Even if you take my life, still we will survive. We shall overcome, and the tables will turn. Today I die as one, but as millions I return. But as millions I return. But as millions I
People are bleeding,
return.
so I'm reading and seeking the deepest of meanings. My demons are breathing. In my sleep I can feel it, I need to defeat them. My temperature's rising. If tempted I rise with the temper of ties and resent all the violence. Cause the people with tension, it tends to divide them. The pen that I write with is better than a sword when I strike with the strength of a titan. My friends are still fighting against all the tyrants, so then why would it end when I die then? Peace is something I would really adore, but we at war, my pen's still in your sword. A million corpse, but still be assured when you kill me there will be a million more.
Born alone and die alone, those words ring inside my dome. Best friends are the pen and the microphone, roaming until I find my way home. Turn my body cold, but my soul is mine. Take a deep breath when I close my eyes. I will go when I'm supposed to die, but in death I will multiply.
My back's against the wall, but you can't kill us all. Even if you take my life, still we will survive. We shall overcome, and the tables will turn. Today I die as one, but as millions I return. But as millions I return. But as millions I return.
You can't take my soul. You might take my freedom, but you can't take my soul. You can't take my soul. You might take my life, but you can't take my soul. You can't take my soul. You might take my freedom, but you can't take my soul. You can't take my soul.
And that was low-key with Million Man March in solidarity with all the protests that's been happening around the world
An
lately.
excellent and relevant track.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Very good.
I thought it was pretty good myself. To be
Good
honest.
lyricist.
And anyway, we should give out the contact details for anyone who does actually want to get in touch.
Please do, people.
Yeah.
Your input is required.
We're waiting.
We don't bite.
Yeah.
Not all the time, anyway.
Unless you want us to.
You can call in on 0191 273 9888. You can text the studio on 80039. Just write the word spice before your message. Or you can email studio@spicefm.co.uk. You can say anything you want about the discussions that we've been having or we will have, or anything random if you want to tell us about your week, or just a joke or whatever. We'd like to hear from you.
Creme fraiche.
Yes, indeed. And moving on with the next topic, that's been quite big in the UK. It's Top Gear getting into trouble with the Mexican embassy.
Ooh, touchy.
That was harsh what they did.
Basically, what happened was Hammond was talking about this Mexican sports car that's releasing soon. First of all, he called the sports car Tortilla car because he forgot the name. Then he said because it's made from Mexico, it's made by Mexicans, the car's going to be lazy. Just as German cars are efficient and Italian cars are flamboyant.
Way to go and insult the people.
I don't think we should be laughing, guys.
He also said that
They were funny. They were funny
They were
insults.
funny. He also said that the Mexican ambassador would probably be asleep and probably wouldn't hear, so he wouldn't complain. But unfortunately, he did.
And I think that was James May.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But they have lodged a complaint against the BBC, and some student is suing them.
Yeah, her name is Iris De La Torre, and she's 30 years old, and she's actually using the Equality Act to, have all three of them fired.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, they also said, or the co-presenter said, Mexican food was like sick with cheese on it. And
should we really be saying this all over again?
You know what? I love Mexican food, and some of it does look like sick. However, it's good tasting sick. And the cheese. All hail the cheese.
No, the food is nice. It's just a lot of beans in it, that's all.
Look, man, you can have your opinion towards Mexican food. I just think burritos are awesome.
Exactly. A good burrito will save your life.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, really.
I didn't know
You know that flotilla disaster? If they had a burrito, it would have been peaceful.
What, they just handed the burrito to
Yeah,
the
they'd be like,
Israeli
hey,
soldiers?
hey, do you want some guacamole? An avocado-covered fish burrito?
Maybe a taco as
Or
well.
do you want to attack us?
Or that.
Well, I'm hoping they don't get fired because I really like Top Gear.
I mean, in their
I love
defense,
Top Gear.
they did say they were sorry for any offense caused, and I mean, they also said that British humor was based on nationalist stereotypes.
Exactly. I get that. And Top Gear wouldn't be the same if they were fired, which is not going to happen.
Yeah,
That's
they
not
can't
gonna-
do that.
BBC make too much money off those guys.
Exactly.
They're
And-
loved.
Yeah. And British humor sometimes is a bit dry. Not every nationality gets them. I know you guys sort of find it on and off.
What?
British humor.
I have actually like British humor.
Really?
People in the US hate British humor because they think it's like too dry and ha ha. How funny.
It's like almost all Arabs except for you that I've came across. I've said, do you want to watch a stand-up show or something? They're like, no, we don't find British comedians funny.
Well, not all of them. Same place. What same place? It's the same the world around.
I guess once you adapt to a culture, you appreciate their humor.
True.
Yeah.
And there are some US comedians who are shit. And there will be UK comedians who are shit.
Yeah.
That's true. And then, anyway, more presenters getting into trouble before I get into trouble is Stephen Fry. You all know who Stephen Fry is, right?
Yes. A brilliant presenter,
He is.
actor, writer. He's great.
His
Great guy.
writings are awesome. His writings are sort of undervalued almost because he's
well-
on TV so much.
I don't think so because he recently won the autobiography of the year, which I thought was very well deserved.
You see, I don't read autobiographies.
Me neither. I have a thing against it. I love-hate relationship with autobiographies. But apparently, because of his writing skill and ability, it's worth reading. And his humor is pretty good too.
We're all too into our own lives to read about other
Other
people's
people's
lives.
lives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like people who watch The Hills.
Or live under rocks.